All right. Hello, hello, everybody. We're starting on in. Sorry about that. I'm moving a little slow this morning. We are here. All right, going live stream. Yay, sorry. Oh, thank you for joining in, Scotty. Yeah, a little slow. Partied a little hard last night. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing better than I am. All right, first things first, always, we're going to start with our embroidery journal. As long as my hands can take it, we're going to do it. What was that? Oh, Jeffrey Bobeffrey, thank you so much for the follow. I was so confused. I was like, what just happened? Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's the weekend. Well, I hope that you can at least relax. But welcome on in, Jeffrey. Just starting. So, first thing we do at the very beginning of these streams is I'm going to add to my embroidery journal. This is what we have so far. Oh, and I forgot my red thread, of course. Yeah, look at hi. Oh, I'm so glad that the emote wall worked. Look at that. And a little catty, that little cat going dancing across. I hope you are well. I will actually be right back. I have to go grab this little red thread because we have 4 deaths to add, guys. Man, last Tuesday my hands were not happy and I was dying a lot. Be right back. Okay. All right. So yeah, I just had to grab this bloody red oh my gosh, come on, camera, focus for me. You got it. I believe in you, camera. Oh, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't believe in you. Tough love? Do you need tough love? Wow. Come on now. Maybe if I scoot it, maybe make it more centered. It's 321. It's just really hard. I don't know why it's fighting. There it goes. Wowzers. Just needed to be talking down to. So we're going to do that first. We had 1 on Tuesday and then 3 deaths on Thursday with The Witcher 3. So on the best floss, I actually have to use those little mint picks because my hands can't like do the normal like floss, but they are just pretty much like green picks. I know it's terrible for the environment. Um, they have reusable ones where it's like a floss holder, and then you take your like normal floss and then string it on there. But either way, I need like a tool. But definitely got to have some mint. Oh, thread, not floss. I'm so sorry, Scotty. I was like, random question, but I'll take it. I'll run with it. I'll go with it. I've only worked with one type. Here, I can scoot this out. There was this one that I had with Joann's, which is this black thread. I do not recommend it. I think it's their brand. This is, oh, doesn't have the brand name on the little piece of paper. It was from Amazon. It came in like a bundle with a bunch of just random, like a ton of colors, like 200 colors. And that's what I have now. And it, I prefer it. It's a 6 string floss or thread. And I like that because then I can adjust the size however I want. So I usually always work with 2 threads. So we'll see here, we've got 2 threads going on. Um, but yeah, I will figure out what brand that is for you, Scotty, and then I'll let you know next stream because I actually don't know what the actual like brand name is. All I know is I got it off of Amazon. It's where I got these little scissors too. Aren't they so cute? DMC is the best, but oh, it's expensive, big colors. I don't think this is name brand. Like I said, it all came in like a starter pack, just because it had been so long since I had last embroidered. And the only color I've had to buy individually was the black because I ran out of black. And yeah, I would not recommend whatever Joann's uh, store their their brand is. It like is 2 really thick threads, and I tried to pull them apart, and they just frayed everywhere. It was horrible. Where this is meant to be taken apart. Also, after our little dots here, I'm going to be doing a little circle of wood. I'll put it on this side, and it's just to represent what our project is for today, which is to pyrography this little hound dog onto this wood ornament. I wrote her name, and then there's some like sticks and berries and stuff. So we're just gonna pyrography that today. And before we start it, I'll show you my device. It's over here in this corner here. But let's do the dots first. You're gathering up supplies. Yeah. Oh, Joann's bought out Michael's? I mean, they're very similar. I could see how that would happen. I'm surprised though. It seems like all those craft stores are really hurting. All right, so what we're doing is that dot, just like we did up here, or the knot. So we're just pull up, wrap around twice, keep it tight, and you're just going right back down into the hole you came up into. Oh, maybe I did 3 before. Yep, it looks like that was too small, so I have to remember how big I made these. I guess I did 3. 1, 2, 3. Right back down that hole. Maybe. Oh my goodness. There we go. Oh my goodness. I am sorry about that. That was a fail. Oh, pissed you off. Yeah. At least Hobby Lobby wasn't the one that bought him out. Uh, oh my goodness. I'm struggling. Okay, let's try that again. 4th time's a charm. How many times have we done this? 1, 2, 3. Back down the hole. There we go. All right. Just like that. So we'll have 3 more. Wherever I can put them. Here, I'll put one up here. Yeah, and sorry guys, no puppy cam. Last Tuesday or Thursday, we had our first attempt with a puppy cam, but I can't do it because this is the camera I use. It was the same camera I used for this. So hopefully we'll just make that on game days. We'll make we'll bring Captain into the fray, but only on his terms. Squidge, hey, welcome in. Oh, hey. Scotty grew up with Joann's, but been in Michael's twice. Oh, I hated both times. I couldn't even tell you what the inside of Michael's looks like. I know what a Joann's looks like because that's my main one. But out in the Midwest, I'd say I went to a few Hobby Lobbies as well, and then I learned more about them and said, no, I think I'll just stay away. I know every corporate business has a shady side, but All right, one more. So Squidge, I hope you're doing, thank you. I hope you're having a great Sunday. I'm a little slow, but we're getting there. So all I'm doing right now are marking my deaths. We had the 1 on Tuesday and then 3 on Thursday. Oh, we're adding 4. There's our 4 little dots. And I guess it was good. I put this one up a little higher so it represented one day by itself. And then I put those 3 kind of in a patch. Oh, you just had dinner? Well, I hope the little bit of work you got to do isn't too difficult. You can just whip it out really quickly. We're going to knot this off and we'll be done with our red. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I can't wait to see, like, watch it just grow as the year progresses. I guess every Sunday is just going to be like, all right, what are we working on for crafts this week? I still have to work on that digital art house too. That's what this one was representing. So there we are so far. And then I will add pretty much the same, a little circle, but instead of it being a wheel, it's going to be a little piece of wood, just like this, right here. Now I don't have a lot of browns, but this is what I have. So I was thinking this dark one for the colors. I love all the smiley faces. It took me a while to figure out how to do the emote wall. Um, I don't know why I was struggling so bad with it. It just wouldn't load, but it works. Demon, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you. So right in the beginning of these craft streams, I'm adding to this embroidery journal. So it'll just grow as the year continues. So we have so far, I just added these little dots to represent deaths that I've acquired in Death March of Witcher 3. And right now, since our project today is to pyrography this wood piece, I'm going to make a little wood circle. It's pretty much just going to be a circle with interchanging colors of these two in between. So this will be the outside, and then these will be the inside. And I'm just going to be going in a circle. So very simple. We'll pump it out rather quickly because this is where most of the time is going to be taking during the stream. All right, so what I'm going to do first is this outer boundary. Oh, you know what I also forgot? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I just love crafting, so anytime I can just share with the little fun projects I'm working on, love it. I hope it entertains you guys. Oh, I couldn't figure out which thread I'm working with. There we go. So we got our dark. You're stringing it. Oh, well, have fun on the show. Oh yeah, you're watching the new show. Well, tell everyone I say hey. But yes, thank you so much for stopping on by. I'm gonna step away for just a minute. I forgot my little blue pen. But thank you, Scotty. All right, sorry about that. Came rather unprepared. So our magic blue pen that disappears with water. All I'm gonna do is just do a little circle, just to give myself a reference. Just gonna see how well can I draw a circle. Just like that. Woo! All right, knotting this up. And yeah, we're just gonna do a quick little outline or boundary, and then we'll have a few spaces in between. But I thought that the colors going back and forth would be a good way to represent the tree rings rather than just having one single color. I know the tree rings in here aren't super noticeable, but they depends on the cut of wood. All right. I hope everyone's having a good weekend, at least a chill one where you can relax. I'm a little slow today because we went to a surprise birthday party for an 80-year-old man that my boyfriend's grandpa's used to work with, and he owns a winery now, and it was an open bar, and oh my gosh, his wine is amazing. It's so what I'm going to do is I am just going to do a back stitch just like we've done all everywhere across here. It's a very simple one. Um, but to bring it all together, I'm going to do I'll, I'll kind of a twist in between. I'll show you when we get closer. But right now, just doing a simple back stitch. Oh, it's so much fun. Jurassic World Expedition. Ooh, I didn't know that they were. So are they bringing in like I guess the dinosaurs that they used in the movie and then like the robotics, I guess, of that? That would be really cool. I didn't even know that Jurassic World was doing that. Or wait, does it have nothing to do with the movie? Oh, it was all the puppets in Hammond. Oh, that is so cool. I love dinosaurs and I love animatronics. You bring them together, it's even better. Yeah. I would say dinosaurs should be the exhibit. I mean, seeing like about how they make it and everything, I'm sure is very fun. But come on, dinosaurs? Everyone loves dinosaurs, no matter what your age. All right. So just following this line doesn't have to be perfect because it is just a wood piece. So I'm not super worried about it being, because I have a few of these and some of them are like not circular at all. But that's a tree. Trees grow in a variety of ways. Wow, wow. There we go. I could not get in. You jumped at the, I bet. Did they have the sounds working and everything too? Because they got the sound right on. That roar. Oh my God. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. Yeah, I'd jump a little bit if that thing roared at me. Oh, yay, my stream elements. Okay, so last Thursday, my stream elements timers weren't working. I'm glad that they are working now. Oh, look at that. They're both working. Good job, stream elements. All right, so we went around in a circle. It's a simple circle, and what I'm going to be doing is going up through the middle of one of, here, hang on. So you can see I'm up in the middle of one of the stitches and I'm going to stay on the top and all I'm doing is just going underneath each stitch the exact same way and it'll create a line. It brings it all together to create a line. So I'll just go around and under each one the exact same way. Try not to catch the others. And it also makes it a bit thicker because you're adding more thread. don't want to create a knot. All right. Oops. Got stuck on my, there we go. Oh, I wasn't sure where the next stitch was. There we go. And now we're all the way back at the beginning. We're going to go under the one that we started in to bring it all together. And then right back down. And it just makes the circle kind of more of a circle versus seeing each individual stitch. Let's see here. So on this one, you can actually see the individual stitches. This one, it kind of hides it. I did pull it a little tight over here, but it makes it more of a continuous line versus individual stitches. Oh, and this little red guy is popping out. Stay together, guys. Stay together. All right, and that's all we need for this color. So doing 2 knots, 1, and oh, I lost my needle, that's fine. 2, at least 2. All right, now we got our dark border. Now all I'm going to be doing is taking these and doing every other one. But if I leave space in between, I can do it all at once. Right. Don't need a lot, so usually when I'm working on larger pieces, I do my full arm's length, but it's still quite a bit of string. So we've got all 6 threads going on in this one. I just need 2. And you just pull apart. Let them spin it out. And there we go. This should be all I need. And I know it's a bit off-white. I do enjoy putting the same color on, so black on black, it just adds like texture, and if you look closely at it, then you get the visuals. I did something similar to that with opposite. I did white on white, and it was teeth, and then behind the teeth there were like flowers and leaves and stuff popping out. Teeth random, but my mom works in a dentist office, so I did them for her work office. I thought they were just a cute little idea to practice some embroidery. My parents just take all my like first tries. Like, I need to work on this, and I want to make a gift. Are you okay with me just giving you? All right, so now we're going to backstitch again. And all I'm going to be doing is being slightly off of the brown that we just laid down. So there you'll still see the pop of the white from behind. My knot wasn't big enough. Let's try that again. I really think I'm glad you guys were able to come earlier. I know last time I did this at 3. I do that too, because you never know what you're doing on Saturdays, and it's just like this last Saturday. I partied a little hard. I wanted more time to recover, but we're having another birthday dinner tonight, so I had to make sure that I streamed a little earlier today. So I will have to, hopefully I will be able to finish Lila. I don't exactly know if we have a time set yet, but whenever they yell at me, I'm going to be like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I have to get off. So hopefully it won't be abrupt, but we still have a few hours before that anyways. All right, so like I said, we're just going to be following right on the inside of the dark brown and backstitching once again. And I will probably come up and do that. I don't know what it is. I should really learn all the names of these stitches. I know backstitch, and this is like some type of knot. I think like a French knot. I'm not. I just do it. But yeah, there's a name for it. I just don't remember. Okay, and then we're just connecting back, so it's a circle. There we go. And then I'm going to come back up into halfway through that first stitch. And let's twist it this way. Just to make the line. There we go. So here I'll do half and half so you can see. So one side has just back stitches and then the other side has that twist going on. So you can kind of see it brings it together, it hides the hole in the middle between the two stitches just to give it more of a straight connected look. And I'm so excited to show you guys Pyrography. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it or knew about it. I know lots of people that I talk about it with, they don't know the art style or art form, I guess is the term. But my little fun fact of the day, hang on, so there we go. There's one, and then I will just do one more in the center with this color, and I only have enough space to do one ring with this color, but it'll get the job done. It's representing what I want. So here, this little fun fact, that pyrography was one of the oldest art forms. Of course, it's originally was similar to just charcoal art. You're using the remnants from fires, taking that charcoal and then using that as your medium versus, oh, here, actually, I can just do a little knot in the center. Oh, that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to do a little knot. That'll be perfect. But eventually, over time, when people were able to have portable stoves, I believe that was another way that they would have these portable stoves and work on pieces as people traveled. But nowadays, instead of charcoal, so there I just did another little dot right in the center. And that's it. We're gonna tie off there with this color. But it's so interesting to see how things have developed over time, even in just a few decades, how much like cool new tools there are out there. So I'm excited to show you my tool. I used to just have a pen that connected right into the wall, and it would heat up the tip of the pen, and then you burn, which is similar to what I have, but here I have a whole box device, and I can actually adjust the temperature, which is very helpful because different woods do require higher heat. These guys require pretty low. They're pretty soft wood, so won't be needing to go too high temperature. But I will show you guys that once we finish with this color. So that light, so the brown was, dark brown was 839. The color we just did was 842. And the one we're about to do is 841. So all right next to each other in the number wheel. I believe that is universal. Does not matter the brand. I guess certain brands probably do have different shades. We're doing the same thing. I'm just going to pull 2 threads. I can't believe Scotty asked what type of floss I use, which is another term for the thread. And I went into whole like, oh, okay, what kind of floss? Like for your teeth. Oh my gosh, I'm a little slow today. I was like, oh, I actually like those things where you hold the floss. And I have coarse mint, I guess. Wow. Wow. Yep. So that was embarrassing, but hey, that's me over my head. But yes, another term for thread is floss. So there we go. Very short. And all I'm going to be doing is in between here. Same thing I did on the outer side. We're just going to be, yeah, floss picks. That's what they're called. Yes. Yeah, I have to use those. My hands are, I can't get all the way in the back. My mom always says I have a very small mouth, so I'm going to blame it on that, but I know my hands also fight me. All right, so we're just going to do a little ring, very, very small. I do too. I was just saying, I was like, I know they're bad for the environment, and I know, yeah, I'm 100% with you, Squidge. They have ones that you can like put your floss into, so it's like a reusable pick. But the one I have does not hold the floss well. It like slips very easily. I'm sure quality matters. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they have better quality ones. I just got mine for free, so I mean, can't complain. I tried it. It just didn't. Maybe I need a thicker floss. Maybe I need like an intense floss because they do make them. Yeah, buy the packs of 100. Yeah, exactly. I do that as well. All right, so you can kind of see there's a dark ring around that center, and we're gonna come back up the middle of one of them and just do exactly what we did before, where we're staying on the top of here and just putting this in between. Let's see, without catching the other colors. Amazing amount of detail. Oh, in this? Oh, thank you. There are some out there, oh my gosh, they can make like full shading, and I mean, I'm trying to make this as simple like as possible. Just make it so you can just remember little icons of what happened that day or that week. But Yeah, some people are just so impressive with crafts in general and embroidery. Oh my gosh. Last one. Oh, I think I caught a little bit of the lighter thread. All right. So there, you get a little ring. Maybe I should do the outside. Oh, my voice is soothing? Well, thank you. Oh, we're just gonna add a fluffy little ring here. Gonna do a little, oh, if I, whenever I do watercolor, we'll be all about that. Thank you so much though, Squidge. I'm still trying to get used to my voice. I'm doing playbacks to because man, I know everyone has this thing where you're like, oh, I hate the sound of my voice. Garuda, welcome in, welcome in. Um, so I'm just trying to get used to my voice. I can't, I'm just a little still trying to just get used to it. But welcome in, Garuda. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. And I hope the rest of your stream yesterday went well. I had to leave to go get intoxicated. No, we're doing good. We just started, or I guess we've been on for about a little over 35. But I'm doing a little piece of wood as the embroidery journal icon because we're doing pyrography today, and we're doing this little Lila dog. It's for a friend of mine. So we're gonna be burning onto this. I'm very excited to show you guys all that. But I'm so glad your stream was wonderful. Good. Oh, that's wonderful. I love when just people, yes, say hi, hang out. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I just took picture and sketched it on there. So I have a reference, and then after I burn it, I'll erase any lines, but usually the pyrography kind of burns off the graphite anyways. So it just depends. So maybe like around the eyes, I might need to erase some. But yeah, just a fun little, I made a few of these for family with like kids and stuff like that. But this is my first one doing it for a doggy, which is way more fun. I'd rather draw an animal than people any day. But before we do that, we gotta put this little embroidery. So right now I am making the rings of the outside, or I'm sorry, the inside of the wood. Just trying to represent this little guy. And then I also added my 4 deaths, which are, I should have gone back up into them to secure them more. Yeah, I'll do that off stream, but they are kind of flopping around. But those little 4 dots, this one's from Tuesday, and then the 3 are from Thursday. So back stitch all the way to connect, and then we'll do what we did before and do that little twisty motion. Gosh, I need to freaking learn these names. All right, so we're popping up in the middle of one of them. And then just going under each individual stitch, staying on top, not going through, we're just going under the thread of the stitch. It's a little tight because we have a lot of extra thread going on. Okay, there we go. Oh, I accidentally caught outside. There you go. like that. And we're just going in a circle. Represent these rings. I wonder for these little wood ornaments, since there's so many, there must be just like tree farms of these little itty bitty trees. And they cut them down when they're yay big, these little, depending on the diameter, because they do sell them in a variety of different like diameters. So, ooh, there we go. All right, and then just go right back down and we'll tie off, and that's it. There's our little tree or our cross section of wood. Hang on here. And our 4 dots that are just popping off. You can kind of see the rings. I just had to work with the browns that I have. I only had these 3, so I think they are pretty close to the colors. All right. And that's it. That's the end of the embroidery section. Now we can get to the really fun part. Right here, I'll do a full showing. Yeah, I'll fix those reds later. And then we'll do a close up. Hang on here. There we go. So that's what we did today. And not the cleanest, it's pretty tight, but tree rings are never perfect either. That's what's fun. All right. So I'm going to move these over here. I won't need any of that. Our magic pen, go away. And this is what we're working on now. And a wonderful little Lila. So we'll work on, I'm going to actually do this side first to just make sure that the temperature is right before I start doing the detail of Lila. So just want to make sure that it's a good starter practice area. So we'll work on that first. So my device, let's see here. All right, I have a short string or plug-in, but here I can move the camera instead of moving the device. So this is the device we'll be using. There. My boyfriend gave it to me as a gift after I was using one that was just pretty much this end, and then this would plug directly into the wall. And it had 3 temperatures, low, medium, and high. And then I could replace a few of the tips, but it was going way too hot. Like even when I was holding this, I could feel the entire device getting warm because this was the heating element versus the heating element being in here and then transitioning through wires to get through here. So I have I could have 2 different connections. So if I was working on another piece and I needed 2 different tips at the same time, there's another one that has different types of tips. So instead of this wire, these 2 wires, it's an actual just solid piece, and they're good for just single action versus this one getting detail. So I can use it like a point. This one's definitely my favorite because I feel like I have the most control. So this is the element that's going to get hot, this part. Obviously not right now because I don't have it on. There is going to be a slight buzz, so hopefully my microphone doesn't catch that. but if it is too annoying, let me know. I can play around. Hopefully it isn't too bad. Have this just to balance it so you don't put it down and it rolls away or anything like that. But I have all kinds of fun tips for that. But this is the device. So what we're going to do is turn it on. So this is my gauge to see how hot I need it to be. We're going to be pretty low. If I remember correctly, these guys stay around 45, maybe 50 in certain areas. The areas of um, the rings, some of them burn hotter than others, and I think it's just the softness of the actual the wood. So the softer it is, the less heat you need because it's going to burn a lot faster. Hardwoods need a bit more heat, um, but these are pretty soft in general. So, all right, we're turning it on. Be aware of a humming, and then I just turn it up. And you see that little gauge just jumped. I turn it up to kind of give it a kickstart, and then you see a little glow. Yep. So that's really hot. I will not need it that hot, but I do like to start it off that way, and then I bring it back down to the temperature I need, which about right there. All right, I'm going to move this back. And I hope it's decent lighting at least. Eh? So it is hot, but it is hard to see it because I turned it down. Camera isn't even really wanting to. It has a slight pink to it. Yeah. And that's what we're looking for. We don't need that white hot action going on. And I'm kind of tangled here. There we go. All right. And now you just draw like you would anything else. But let's start on, I'm going to start around here because I do have a string that will go through here. And if I do mess up or if it is too hot, I can easily, it kind of hides it. So what we're going to do is just slightly touch it right there. So you see maybe a little bit of smoke. I wish I could, hang on here. Let me see if I can lower this camera. We were trying to figure out how to get it to zoom and I could not figure it out. I know different cameras require different things. Let me see here. Maybe if I do that. Sorry. Yeah, that's not gonna work. What about an under here? Is it a little closer? And if I work right underneath, there we go. Is that a bit better? So now you guys can actually see what I'm doing, even though I cannot see the chat. So I'm gonna bend down and keep looking at the chat, but I can't really see. Literally put everything right in front. All right. So there's a little closer picture. Oh. And Lila. All right. So you're gonna see a bit of smoke. That's fine. That's normal. We're burning stuff. So yeah, I am probably at 48, and I'm barely touching the wood. And all we're doing is creating a bit of pyrography. We're just burning fire, pyro. So it smells so good. It's just like always being around a campfire. It is pretty hot. Yeah, I'm gonna lower it down just a little. So I'm barely touching. I like to have a fan around me because smoke follows. Oh, so I lowered it just a little bit and it is barely hot enough now. So we're gonna hold it a little bit. There we go. I apologize if you guys can hear. My dog is barking at nothing, I'm sure. I'm sure there's no reason for him to be barking. So yeah, it's a little too low now. Very sensitive. Right there, maybe? That's why I like working on the back first. See, just slightly turned it up. Wow. Wowzers. But at least I can adjust depending on my wood. All right, so there is one line. It's pretty dark, but that's what we're going for. You want it to kind of pop. And I won't do it with this one just because I think that I want it to just be the pyrography. But for the ones that I did for the family and friends of people, I did watercolor on top of the wood, and it really shows, instead of doing like an acrylic paint which would cover the grains of the wood, the watercolor really highlights the wood. It kind of creates a stained look, but with the colors that you choose. So, and with watercolor, you can really mix. I like to create my own colors, and so for whatever piece I'm working on. But they just turned out so well because you have this dark outline of the wood burning, and then you have a pop of color for whatever you were doing. So obviously, if I painted her, she's like a brown red. So she's was getting a little older, and she was getting a little bit of white in her ears and on her muzzle and stuff like that. But um, and then I could do like green leaves and maybe like do little dots of red at the cherries or something like that. Um, we'll see, but I feel like just doing the straight brown will be nice as well. Just depends on what how creative or what you want your end piece to look. Oh, just making two little lines. We'll add this for the leaf. Barely touching the wood. Don't need any force, just letting the heat be in control. All right. So these dots, I'm going to go more up action, use the tip of my device versus the side of my device to just create a bit of just a dark hole, just like that. So we'll be doing that on all these little cherry dots or whatever. I don't know what. I just drew them thinking they look cool. All right, another leaf. I wish we had smell-o-vision, but pretty much imagine a campfire. At least you guys don't have to deal with the smoke. Sometimes that's why I like having a fan on, because sometimes the smoke will just come right into my face, and I'm like, oh, my eyes. But that's what the fan's for. Just a slight blow, and it just blows it away, so it's no big deal. But I just love pyrography. My first learning about it, my mom, both my parents are very crafty in their own right. Different ways. I would say we all have different ways of being creative. Um, but my mom actually did it for our house. She did like a pretty much what I have on the digital art Instagram page of a house outline, but instead of digitally, it was done in pyrography on this long piece of wood. It was this gorgeous little Victorian that we were stewardess of. We were bringing it back to its glory days, pretty much. It needed a lot of love. It was a gorgeous house. Um, but she did a pyrography of that, and that was my first introduction to pyrography. I never did it when I was a kid, or if I did, it was just like small little things. But wanted to get back into it, try it out for myself. And I love just doing animals of it. I've been doing different different pieces with like on watercolor paper. So I just enjoy making it and then having a little pop of color. There we go. We're getting there. And all I'm working on is the outline. We don't need to be doing any shading at the moment. Actually, there won't be any shading except the inside of the um, letters, and then, of course, this side. But what we'll do is I'll just turn down the temperature, and that makes it so I can do a lighter line versus just a straight dark color. Though I do love this. It makes it pop. Just like that. Add another leaf here. There we go. All right. Um, yep, just take it slow. Like I said, let the tool do the heavy lifting. You don't need to be pushing or anything. If you really wanted to really like go in the wood, you could. I mean, but there are better devices than just the wire. Like I said, they have them so that you can choose different tips on different projects. Even the one that I had before, that was just the pen and not the large box. Even though I couldn't control the temperature as well with that one, they do include different tips, and it does work well on harder woods. I would say softer woods, it can go a little overboard. It got very hot, even on the low setting. I only worked on the low setting with that guy, and there were times I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is hot. So this one's nice because I can play around with the temperature a bit more. And even this, it's on a very low setting, but it's warm. It's just because this wood is so soft. I have plant markers that also are like not super soft wood, but they're definitely harder than this wood, and I do have to go up past 50 for that. So, yep, you just have to do a test run of whatever wood you're working on, and then just make note of it so you know, like, okay, this brand of wood, I needed to be on this temperature setting, just so you don't have to test every time you start a new project. I knew for the most part where I needed to be on this with this guy. There we go. Look at it, it's so pretty. I have a few more couple pictures that I need to do for people's anniversaries coming up as well. Um, Perhaps I will do one of those on stream. So again, to make these little I guess berries, I'm using the point of the wires versus the side of the wires to create the line. So just go from above and make a circle that way. And then to make the lines, rotate, and you'll be working on the side. There we go. Kind of lost that one. All right. And there we go. So there is the lower part. It just makes it just pop. It's a nice little design. All right, now we'll work on the top. Again, use that point to create the circles. I keep wanting to blow on it. Don't think that would sound very good in your guys' head. All right, we made our little dots. Again, use the side of the wire and not even really touching. It's very light. So here I did go a little hard. I pushed a bit. You just want to graze the wood. There you go. So next week, so since I like doing a variety of crafts, I know we're doing pyrography today, we'll do maybe some crochet next week, which will be a lot of fun. It's very close to the edge, I don't want to hold it. Obviously, never touch your wire. Even down here, don't touch anything from this yellow forward because it's all hot. I can even feel it's warm right here, but that's normal. But obviously, even though it's not red, doesn't look hot, it's hot. That's what this is for. This device allows you to just rest it like that. Oh, hey Cage, I'm sorry. The way I have this set up, I wanted to bring my camera in closer so that you guys could see what I was actually doing a lot better. But it actually is blocking the chat now. So I'm very sorry if you were just chilling there, being like, well, I guess she's not gonna acknowledge me. Lame. Um, but I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I'm sorry about that. Um, yeah, doing good. A little slow today, but we're there. I mean, we did the embroidery. So since this is the first time I'm doing pyrography, on I made a little here, hang on, I can bring it over. I made a little wood slice. Ooh, there we go. Focus camera. Focus. There we go. So it's just like a little slice of wood. And then I also added 4 dots for the 4 deaths that we occurred over last week. One was on Tuesday and the other one was on third or the 3 were on Thursday. But so what we're doing is I'm just burning using this device to uh, slightly just heat up the wood and it creates a char. And this is of a puppy, of a hound dog. This is Lila. So we'll be doing that next after I finish her name. Oh, you're installing a game on your can't handle both, otherwise I can't see much right now. Oh, that's okay, no problem. It's okay. Don't worry about it. What game are you installing? Is it a new game or are you like reinstalling something as like a replay game? I can't tell you how many times. Oh, Red Dead 2! Yes! Are you going online or are you gonna go through the story? And have you ever played it before? I love that game. And I actually had never played Red Dead 1 before, so after I played Red Dead 2, I had to go in and play Red Dead 1, which was actually the way the story is. So Red Dead 2 is the prequel, and I thought that was so cool that I was like, I got to experience them like the way the story was written versus the way that they were launched. I just thought that was a lot of fun. Doing these little dots. Oh, you've already played it twice already. Nice. That's awesome that you're able to. I've never played it modded before, but I also only played it on Xbox. I know that PC modding is much superior. I mean, much more capable, I should say. Do you play online ever? I have like stints where I go in just to see what they have for new clothing and then wait for like clothing deals. Because they did go through like a while. I feel like in the holidays, they're like, here, have all these free clothing options. And I'm like, okay, thank you. Yes, please. But it really sucks that Rockstar pretty much abandoned it and aren't planning on doing anything more with it. That could have been their next GTA. Like, I've never played. Oh, you've never really enjoyed online? Yeah. Um, I get hit by griefers a lot. Like I will get, and they must have hit boxes or something in there because I've had multiple times where I'm trying to do like a delivery and then someone just shoots me out of nowhere and I have no idea where they were. And then I've been down in a ravine, couldn't see anybody, but I knew that I was being hunted by somebody, like another player, and they just were shooting every time I respawned in. I just would get shot like instantly. And I was like, okay, so you're cheating. I see. You have like some kind of hitbox program. Happens way too often, which I understand. It's an online game. You're playing with other people, but it just sucks. It's not really worth it. Yeah, the main story is where it's at. Oh, I'm sure. Even more so probably because like we were saying, you can actually like import quite a bit more. But I like going on there and just doing like the hunting and delivery options. Always have to do a short delivery because I can't trust anything. But for a while I was playing by myself too, so that doesn't help either. You kind of do need like a posse to help protect you on deliveries and stuff. Never did the moonshine thing because I think you really do need friends to help you with that. But I loved they had a whole naturalist option, and I know that was just mostly filler content to most other people, but I enjoyed that one because it was had to do with animals, and I enjoy learning about animals. But I'm glad you're getting back into it. It's such a good story. Have you ever played Red Dead 1? If not, after this playthrough, you should jump into it. It's a little rough, I would say, but I mean, it's still like really good. It's just because it's an older game, but definitely like still playable. Definitely still enjoyable. So, all right. So before we do her name, that's where we're at. This wood is dropping stuff all over. There we go. All right. I'll be concentrating. Oh, geez. Because I want to make this as smooth as possible. There we go. To wrap around. Oh, I pushed a little hard on that. And we're going straight down. Oh, you don't have a way to replay it? Oh, I'm sorry. I was only able to get it on Xbox Pass, whatever that Game Pass. That's what it's called. Which stinks because if they ever decide to take that off, I'll never be able to play it again. But it was fun. That's awesome you got to play it when it first came out. So did you play Red Dead 2 when it first came out too? Were you like super hyped? Oh, and a little far. All right, so there's the L. Nice. That's nice when like I've never had that experience. My first time will be with The Witcher 4. I'm just so excited for that. Oh my gosh. I've never like really had experienced game hype like that. Where you get to anticipate for something. I wonder if Rockstar is just done with the Red Dead franchise or if they're planning on making another game. I know like like I said, they're not doing anything with online anymore, which sucks, but I hope that they at least put another game out. All right. So there's the I, L-I. There we go. Pushed in a little much. So yeah, different parts of the wood definitely take the heat differently. So just have to, ooh, I just got a big wave of smoke. Nice. Um, just have to just be very, very careful about how hard you're pushing. I just try and let it graze the top of the wood. I hope they continue the Red Dead series as well. I haven't heard anything from Rockstar except I think they are pushing out another GTA. Of course. Of course. Okay. So we're gonna pull this way. I don't even know any other games that they make besides Red Dead and GTA. Couldn't tell you another single Rockstar game. Probably have heard of one, I just don't know. All right. Oof. No, see? What else did they do? They I've never even I played GTA once with my cousin when he first came. Gosh, so long ago. And the only thing I remember about it is he was making fun of me because of the way I was driving in the game, because I was following, like, I wasn't being crazy. I was just driving like a normal like a normal person, I guess. I was like, well, we're just trying to get from point A to point B, right? He's like, yeah, but you can do all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Wasn't my cup of tea. All right, almost done. With one side. All right, look at that. We're all done. So there is a bit of graphite. You can still see at the top there, and then that one leaf right over here. I can just erase that. No big deal. Now we'll work on little Miss Lila. Look at those eyes. She's such an angel. Or, okay, I don't want to depress anybody, but she was an angel. Unfortunately, she passed away this December. That's why I was already planning on doing this, but I am holding off on making it to give it to her mommy because it was right at Christmas. It was a very sudden thing. So I'm just pulling up a picture, a little reference picture. I guess. If you guys wanna, how do I? It's all pretty close. We'll just keep it over here. It's there. It's here. You guys can see us side by side. How do I do this? Sorry, my camera's in a completely different angle, so now I'm all like, see, a little side by side action. Her nose is a bit bigger. I have to remember that. All right. So what I'm going to do is mostly do an outline of her features. So side of her head, her eyes to her ears, outline her nose, and then her neck here. We'll go around, highlight, do an outline. So we're just keeping everything the same temperature, and then I will lower it back down and try and do a little bit of shading, probably around her eyes. Just she has a few dark features. Her muzzle is quite dark as well. And then the tips of her ears are a bit darker as well. So we'll see when we get there. First off, let's just do the outline. Let's start on the top of her head. Oh, concentrating. Ay, ay, ay. Still very hot. I wonder if the camera is picking up all the smoke. All right, there's the top of her head. And she has some cute little floppy ears. There we go. So she's a mix of a few different hound breeds, but the whole point of hound ears, if I remember correctly, is as they have their nose to the ground, the ears flop down and funnel the smells back into their face. It's very interesting, like different types of dogs and how they were genetically engineered to play different roles in our societies, obviously, but interesting how different features were just developed that way. I think that's very interesting. I watched a lot of Dogs 101 growing up when the Animal Planet, used to teach us things, like the History Channel used to teach us things, Science Channel used to teach us things. Remember those good old days? Okay, so her ear connects in the back like that, but her head, okay, so it goes about like that, and then down. She has a very boxy head. Let me see here. Just like that. She's quite boxy. So she also has a line there and a line there. So I am going to add just an accent line there. And her neck comes down behind the ear. And then down. Kind of like that. And then we'll connect her fluff. She had very short hair. She was a short-haired pupper. There we go. And I'm just making, she doesn't like, around her collar is pretty straight, but I thought that these little indents would kind of add a bit more character, I guess, a little different. So there we go. Because her collar just comes down right here and it would just be a straight shot. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more actually. And then this one come all the way across. I did a little small floofs. I don't know if I can. I tried to do that up here. It kind of got a little hidden, a little lost. And there we go. There's her neck. Okay, now let's go to the other side of her head and we'll work on this ear. Again, she has some thing poking out. But it mostly follows her head. She's got some big eyes. These are beautiful big eyes. Since it is the side of her head, her ear is showing this, like the side of her ear is rather thin. You like that? And let's see here. It kind of goes over. So actually, I need to add just like that. Okay, there we go. And then comes up like that. So it's kind of folding over. And yep, okay. So that whole back area I'll shade in. Same over here. Okay, now we're going to do the side of her face here. It goes right up to her eye. She has big eyes. Very carefully. There we go. And I'm just going to add that for right now. So all I did was just add this line right below hers to connect her muzzle.
And now we can go down right along here, add her nose, her muzzle. Goes very close to her ear. She has a pretty square muzzle too. Hounds are pretty boxy. Not as boxy as boxers though. Okay. Now I'm gonna go from her nose. And connect that line. There we go. And go down. Again, straight across. And it comes quite a bit up here. Yeah. So gonna go all the way up. Just like that. And we'll make a little line down here just to represent her lower lip. And she has an indent right there around the eye socket. So let's also do her nose, obviously, pupper. I feel like I drew it a little small. Doggies have kind of a heart-shaped nose. And little curlies in the middle of the heart. I'm just going to do a light little line there because that's where her highlight is anyways, so don't want to go too dark. Oh, I went a little high there. And when I lower the temperature, we'll shade that in a bit. Just a little nosy. Maybe. Oh, I probably should not have done that. All right. So on her nose, we're going to bring, she has a few heavy shadows going on about right here. And I think right here. She has, yeah, she has these little nose indents. Okay. She has a eyebrow action going pretty high up here. I'm going to do that, and then there, and then this line right between her eyes to her muzzle. And then one right here below her eye, and on the other side as well. Okay, now the scary part, her eyes. Whew. That's why I want to do everything first so I could warm up. All right, let's do this big eyebrow. She has very dark eyebrows, so okay. And then the other one. It's not only her eyebrow, but she has dark coloring in her eyebrow, so did that pretty heavy. They kind of look like antlers. Okay. Oh my goodness. Now her eye. Everyone hold your breath. All right. Nice thing, she has rather dark eyelids. There's the top of her eye lid. She's biggest. She always had puppy eyes, even as she aged. Just the biggest things. Here we go. Okay, there's the outline. Let's go ahead and do the other one. It's a different shape because she is off to the side a bit. A bit higher and more narrow. And okay, what do you think? Okay. Ooh. All right. Now we just have to make sure we keep certain parts of it white to create that highlight, even though her eye ball actually takes up the entire eye. She has very little white in her eye. So I'm going to darken these corners first, just a little bit. And, oof, man, this is gonna be tough. And she's looking up at us. So I'm only doing the inside pupil. I'm just going to try and create a highlight. So like that. Let's try and do the exact same thing, but even smaller, because it's a smaller part of the eye. All right. I'm going to be using more the tip of here. Maybe a little lower. You can always take away. Yeah, there we go. Look how cute. That worked out well. And there's our little Lila, little outline. Okay, so I am going to lower the temperature. Now we're at about 48. Probably take her down to 42. It's just a notch over. Very small amount, but it makes all the difference. And to test out, I'm going to do the inside of her name and then these two ends just to fill it out, just to give it a little darker, make her name pop a little bit. Let's see, and all I'm doing is just barely touching it, just adding a slight burn. You don't want to go definitely nowhere near as dark as before. We're just adding, so you can kind of see to compare to the rest of her name. I did the first L and that first little dot right there. You can see it's just just a little darker. And that's all we're going for. Just kind of rubbing the wood versus pressing. It's just a little bit. Just constantly keeping the tip moving, because if you hold it in place, it will create that line, that black line. So if you just keep it moving. And I just like rub around a bit. That's all I'm doing is just that. It seemed like was taking a little bit. There we go. So there we go. And that's all we're doing. So you can see it kind of made it just a little like bolder, I guess, a bit more noticeable. And we'll do the same thing here with her darker areas. So darker areas for sure are behind her ears. So let's kind of do behind here. I don't want to go full dark. We're just making it a bit heavier, creating shadow. Same with the other ear. I do think I want it a little darker, but not as dark as the lines. So I want to make sure I'm not holding it for too long in one place, but I'm not going to be moving it as quickly as I was with the letters, just because I do want it a bit darker than that. So there we created a little bit of a shadow behind her ears. And we're going to do the same thing right here, but this one's going to be fast. I don't want it to be too dark. And her ears are a bit darker, so I'm just going to be doing a little bit on the tips. And a little bit right here. Again, just creating shadows. You can see it just made it a little darker on that back. And this one same as well. We just want to add a little bit of shadow to her ears since her ears are darker than the rest of her head. There we go. All right. Now around her eyes, she has a lot of dark right around her eyes. So we're just going to do exactly the same thing. We're just keeping the tip moving. I am touching the wood but very quickly. Just keep it moving, keep it moving. And we're going to pull that down because it goes right along her muzzle. There we go. Now do the other eye. Same exact thing. She's got a lot of beautiful colors going on. And this will be pulled down. I do have a lot of the pencil still left, which I anticipated. That's okay. All it takes is a nice white eraser. Well, it doesn't have to be nice. It's just a white eraser. Okay, she does have some dark. I am going to go all along her muzzle here. Just trying to add where the shadows are. It's really hard to tell when you're going this slow, but it's better to go slow because you can always add more. Kind of like a tattoo. It's hard. It's pretty hard to take away once you've laid a line down, or, well, it's impossible with wood burning at least. We're just adding a little bit of color. You just want to blend it. So, see, we got around her eyes, heading down towards her muzzle. I'll get under her neck, and her nose will be pretty dark. But she's coming together. So this part is pretty light, so we're going to bring this down because this is pretty dark due to her ear covering that. So we're just going to make that a bit darker, this slightly dark, and then this part underneath will be pretty dark as well. Just making sure everything's semi-shaded properly, but like I said, take it slow. Oh. Okay. Now we're going to go under the neck or under her nose, I'm sorry, under her mouth. And we're just creating a bit of a shadow. This needs to be a bit darker, I think. But I really like letting the wood kind of sing for itself. Like I enjoy making art on the wood, but I feel like you can really, there's ways to let the wood kind of let it do its own thing, like let it help create your piece rather than fighting against it. You just kind of work with it. We're gonna make that a little darker since that's a little under. So there. We just did a little bit of a shadow under her nose or under the mouth, you know, because that's how shadows work. But here you can see the grains are kind of doing their own thing here, which is nice. It's nice to just let them. That's why I like doing the watercolor. If I'm going to add color to a piece, rather than an acrylic paint, which would just completely cover it, unless you watered down your acrylic paint. If you really watered it down, you can create kind of the same effect. I just really enjoy watercolors, and so I let that, and it looks more like a stain. It's nice. All right, so there. Now we're going to do her nose. Lovely little nose. She has a bit of shadowing actually going on up here. Maybe. Okay. Our nose is pretty dark, so I'm just going to let my tip kind of linger in the nose for quite a bit. I do not want it to be darker than my outlines, but I want it to be pretty dark. And one nice thing with watercolors, I can add shading that way as well. So if I didn't want to do shading through the pyrography, I can find colors that I want, and as you layer them, obviously it'll get a bit darker, and you can create shading that way as well. So her nose has quite a highlight on it, so I want it to be dark, but I don't want it to be, oh, I did let it go a little dark. I was letting, so there's her nose, and then her actual muzzle is dark as well, but I don't want it to be darker than her actual nose. Oh, so we're just going to kind of keep it moving, keep it moving. Eh, it's pretty dark. I lingered a little too long. Just keep it moving. And what we're going to do is blend it up to where we stopped with her eyes. But I do want it, wow. So this area took heat very quickly, where this is not taking the heat as quickly. So I am having to kind of linger a bit more than I thought I would. It is interesting how different sections of the same piece of wood just take heat so much differently. Um, Different rings may burn just a lot faster. Okay, so yep, what I'm trying to do now is just blend in where we were with the eye. I'm just trying to make it all kind of come together. Over here needs to be a bit darker. Do want to keep the top of her nose pretty light. It is darker, but she has a highlight because of, I think the light, yeah, the light is above her. So we do want to represent that she has a darker muzzle, but don't want it to be flat. Go a little darker here. There we go. A little bit. Maybe I went a little overboard. Let's go a bit darker on that nose. I am going to increase. I think I'm at like 40. It's well, I guess that's the numbers on here, the only ones they give me are 0, 50, 110, and 150. So anything below 50, I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of just guessing at what temperature it is. It's below 50. Oh, so it is quite a bit warmer. So just keep it moving fast. And I'm just going to try and darken it. There we go. So a bit darker. That's better. That is much better. Yeah, her nose kind of got lost when I did that the first time. There you go. I think that's it. You guys see anything that think maybe needs a little touching up? But I think she came out pretty cute. If I stop moving her, maybe you guys can actually see. Hang on, there it is. Sorry. And if I move closer, guess I could add a little bit more around her nose, like those little whisker hair points. I could do a little bit more of that. Just have to be very careful. There's a few extra. And I am going to lower it back down. Maybe shade her muzzle in a bit more. Just keep it moving fast, though. Keep it moving fast. Yep, and hers goes all the way up. Like she has dark, very dark muzzle. Get the shading. I feel like if I keep adding to it, I'm going to push it too far. Like I said, you can always add, but can't take away. So I think that'll do it. Pretty dang adorable, huh? I mean, you can't go wrong with a doggy. Even the ugliest doggies in the world are pretty adorable. I think animals in general. All right, just want to make her nose. I feel like I'm keep losing her nose the more I play around. So we can add a little bit of shading up here. Trying to look at it from a distance. Can add a bit darker behind the ears. Make that pop a bit. Contrast helps. All right, and then go a little darker on this side of the ear, and then I'm going to stop. All right, I'm going to stop. I'm stopping right there. All right, turning that off. And move this. I'll be right back. I'll go get that eraser and show you. Can't really see too much of the graphite, but it does just come right off. Right there. There's the eraser. Oh, here, I can do a side by side now as well. So yeah, she has a pretty dark muzzle. If I point it directly at it, it'll show the... So what I'm going to do is just take my little eraser and just go over it. Wipe it off. Just takes away that graphite and a little bit of the charcoal as well. So areas that I didn't hit super hard. Now we'll do it on this side. There we go. Just have to make sure it doesn't get to the edges because I have had a few incidences where if I erase here on the soft bark, it keeps the white eraser in the bark. It's not the end of the world, but I'm a little picky. So erases the few little areas we still had going on there. So you can see her name is like softly burnt, the same temperature we did all of her in. All right. Now we just have to string. What do we have here? So this is what I have. It's just this thread that came with these guys. Again, just bought them on Amazon. So all I do is I just take enough for, oh, scissors. Where did I put them? There they are. It's like that. That's plenty. And how I do it is I make this side go in. I usually have a needle to do this. We use a yarn needle. Let's see if I can do it with a normal needle. All I'm doing is trying to push it in. So you just figure out which way you want your front to be. And what we're going to be doing is just making a loop. And then the string will come in like that. Oops. Like this. We're doing this in this hole. That's exactly what it'll look like. Obviously a bit smaller. And then we'll tie it at the top here. Oh, I didn't even need it. There we go. All right. And so all I'm going to do is put these strings right through here. I wanted this to be the front, so I like to have this knot at the front, but it doesn't matter because it goes either way. Like that. And then we just tie the top into a knot. Put that needle away before I lose it. Maybe a little more. Just try and make it as even as possible. Oops. Just like that. Oh, tie it tight. And there we have it. Oh my goodness. This wood just really sheds. I will also seal it. So I can, I probably should have done that before I did this, but that's okay. There's nothing really at the top to be concerned about it. It's just so it doesn't keep flaking everywhere. And when you do watercolor, I like to make sure I seal it for that as well. So, but that's it. Very quick, a lot faster than actually I thought I was gonna do. That was quick job. There we go. Trying to figure out where my front is. You just hang it up. It's a little keepsake for little Miss Lila and her mommy. All right, so I'm actually going to move the camera again. You can see all the eraser bits. Bring the embroidery back out. We'll go over where we went today, and then we can go rate somebody. So we'll go there. Move that guy. Okay. There we go. I was going to say, focus camera. Clean all of that off. My goodness. All right. So we completed that today and added our little wood. Here, I'll put them. There we go. So we added our 4 death dots, that little piece of wood, since this is the first pyrography piece. And then we completed this pyrography item, our first one on stream. A lovely little Lila. So just made a cute little ornament. Very rustic looking. But then we added that little guy. So our little death dots. Ay, ay, ay. That's okay. Death March is meant to be that way. Meant to be that difficult. But there we go. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me. I will go ahead and put this ending stream soon screen on, and let's find someone to raid. If anyone has any recommendations, go ahead and message it or type it in chat. But other than that, we can find somebody here. Let's see. Thank you, Garuda, for coming on by. Thank you, thank you. 7 is streaming. Oh, we should go to 7. Yeah, yeah. We're going to hang out with 7. Oh, Professor Sean, let's see. I'm not. Oh, Professor Panda or Professor Sean? Oh, I'm thinking Professor Panda. Sorry. Oh, too funny. Yeah, we can go meet a new friend. Is that his like name? If I just do raid pro. Oh, there's an F there. Pro Sean. Yeah, thank you, Garuda. We've Their friend of is awesome. All right. Well, let's go make a new friend. We'll have plenty of opportunity to join 7. I know that she's been coming back into streaming more often, which is wonderful. So yes. All right. Let's go hang out with Professor Sean. Woo. Yes. Awesome. It worked. It worked. I'm getting better at that. That's so much fun. Thank you guys so much for hanging out in the craft stream. Went a lot faster than I thought, which is good because I have got a birthday I got to celebrate in an hour. So perfect timing. Thank you for joining me. I know it was an earlier one. I guess if this works out, maybe we can do these more regularly earlier in the day. But thank you so much, guys, for dropping on in and hanging out. I hope you enjoyed learning about pyrography. If you hadn't heard about it before, or if you had, I just enjoyed watching me work on a little puppy dog. And of course, the embroidery. We'll continue to add that throughout the year. So it'll be wonderful to watch that grow. But again, thank you so much. Let's go hang out with Profession. Profession, yes. Okay. Sorry. Bye, guys.